What if the best electric SUV you've never heard of is already on the road, and it's not from Tesla, Hyundai, or even Volkswagen? I'll be straight with you. When I first saw the 2026 BYD Seal 7, I didn't know what to expect. A mid-size electric SUV from a Chinese automaker most Americans still can't pronounce. It sounded like something from a tech expo, not a real-world daily driver. But then I spent 10 days living with it, not in a curated test loop, but in the beautiful chaos of actual life. School drop-offs in pouring rain, weekend grocery runs with a trunk full of bags, a 200-mile round trip to visit family, and even an impromptu detour to a mountain overlook just because the sky was clear. And somewhere between fast charging during a coffee break and watching my kids fall asleep in the back seat on a quiet highway cruise, I realized something. The Seal 7 isn't trying to copy anyone. It's quietly redefining what an affordable, practical EV should be. As I drove, 5 curious human questions kept bubbling up. Not the kind engineers answer, but the kind you ask when you're standing in your garage at night, wondering if this thing can really fit into your life. 1. Can it go far enough that I stop thinking about chargers and start just living? 2. Does it feel like a proper SUV or just a sedan with extra height and anxiety? 3. Is the interior calm and intuitive or cluttered with tech that gets in the way? 4. How does it handle real roads, potholes, rain, highway merges without wearing me out? And maybe most importantly, can I actually trust this brand to be around when I need service or support years from now? If those sound like your questions too, if you're tired of EVs that promise the moon but deliver range panic, confusing menus, or flimsy build quality, you're exactly who this review is for. Hey, welcome. I'm glad you're here. No sponsors, no scripts, just 10 days of honest driving, spilled coffee, wet dog paws, and one surprisingly refined electric SUV that made me question everything I thought I knew about value in the EV space. And if this kind of grounded, experience-first perspective helps you cut through the noise, I'd be honored if you subscribe to Motorhome, where we don't just test cars, we live with them, so you don't have to guess. Now, let's talk about the 2026 BYD Seal 7. 1. Range that lets you forget it's electric. The Seal 7 comes in 2 versions, a rear-wheel drive model with an estimated 320 miles of range and an all-wheel drive variant with around 290 miles. In my mixed driving, city errands, highway cruising at 70 miles per hour, climate control running, I consistently got 285 to 295 miles out of the RWD version. That's enough to go 5 or 6 days without plugging in. But the real magic isn't just the number, it's how effortless it feels. The Seal 7 uses BYD's proprietary Blade battery, a lithium iron phosphate pack known for safety, longevity, and stable performance in extreme temperatures. Unlike some EVs that lose 30% range in winter, the Seal 7 held up remarkably well during a chilly morning drive. And charging? On a 150 kW DC fast charger, it went from 10% to 80% in just 28 minutes, about the time it takes to grab a coffee and use the restroom. At home, a level 2 charger tops it off overnight. After a week, I stopped checking the range display. I just drove, and that's the highest praise an EV can get. 2. It drives like a thoughtful SUV, not just a compromise. Despite its sleek roofline, the Seal 7 feels planted and composed. The ride height gives you a commanding view of the road, but the center of gravity stays low thanks to the battery pack mounted under the floor. The result? Minimal body roll in corners, confident lane changes, and a sense of stability even in crosswinds. The RWD version delivers smooth, linear acceleration, perfect for merging or passing. The all-wheel drive model adds instant torque to the front axle when needed, giving extra grip in rain or snow. I tested it during a sudden downpour, and the traction control worked seamlessly. No wheel spin, no drama. Steering is light but precise, making parking and U-turns easy. The brakes are regenerative but well-tuned. You can drive almost entirely with one pedal, yet they still feel natural when you need to stop quickly. This isn't a sporty SUV, but it's far from numb. It feels alive in the best way possible, responsive, quiet, and calm. 3. A cabin that feels like a retreat. Step inside and you're greeted by a space that balances modern design with genuine serenity. There's no fake wood, no glossy black plastic traps, no overwhelming screen wall. Instead, you get soft-touch materials, ambient lighting that's subtle, not theatrical, and a layout that puts the driver first. The centerpiece is a 15.6-inch rotating touchscreen. Yes, it physically turns from portrait to landscape depending on the app. It sounds gimmicky, but in practice it's useful. Navigation in wide view, media controls in tall. The system is fast, supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and includes built-in apps for music, weather, and vehicle settings. Climate controls remain physical, knobs and buttons you can use without looking. The seats are wide and supportive, with available heated and ventilated fronts that actually work, not just warm slightly. Rear passengers get generous legroom, USB-C ports, and air vents, rare in this price range. At night, with the ambient lights dimmed and the cabin whisper quiet, the Seal 7 feels less like a car and more like a mobile sanctuary. After a long day, that matters more than you think. 4. Real-world comfort, where it counts. The suspension tuning is one of the Seal 7's quiet triumphs. It absorbs potholes, speed bumps, and cracked pavement with a calm composure that belies its price. There's no jarring harshness, no floaty disconnect, just a smooth, controlled glide. Wind noise is minimal at highway speeds, and road roar is well contained thanks to acoustic glass and thoughtful insulation. Even on a 200-mile trip, I arrived feeling fresh, not fatigued. My passenger, a chronic back pain sufferer, said it was the most comfortable EV she'd ever been in. Visibility is excellent, with thin pillars and a high seating position. The rear-view camera is crisp, and the optional 360-degree system makes tight parking spots stress-free. This is a vehicle that respects your energy, not drains it. 5. Can you actually trust BYD in America? Fair question. BYD is new to U.S. consumers, but globally they're the world's largest EV manufacturer, producing more plug-in vehicles than Tesla in recent years. They've been building batteries since the early 2000s and own their entire supply chain, from mining to motor production. In the U.S., they're launching carefully, with certified service centers in major markets and a 6-year, 72,000-mile warranty on the battery and drivetrain. During my test, the build quality felt solid. Tight panel gaps, no interior squeaks, and electronics that worked flawlessly even after getting caught in a sudden thunderstorm. Is it as proven as a Toyota? Not yet, but it's promising. And for early adopters who value innovation, efficiency, and real-world usability over badge loyalty, the Seal 7 feels like a bold step forward. So, is the 2026 BYD Seal 7 worth your attention? If you want an electric SUV that's efficient, refined, and genuinely livable without the premium price tag and tech overload of rivals, then absolutely. It may not have a famous logo, but it has something better: quiet competence. It doesn't shout, it just shows up, ready, reliable, and remarkably attuned to the rhythms of real life. If this honest experience-first perspective helped you cut through the noise, I'd be honored if you subscribe to Motorhome, where we don't just test cars, we live with them, so you don't have to guess. Thanks for reading. I'll see you in the next one.